Alright, hello everyone. So welcome to today's tutorial. My name is Victoria Egono. Okay, so now let's get started. So this is what I'll be using today. I'll be making a jewelry box. Okay, and the jewelry box measures 8 inches by 6 inches by 1 inch. Okay, and it's going to be a reinforced jewelry box, so it should be very stable. Now I'll be using a straw board. This is a straw board, okay, and I'll be covering this straw board with this velvet. Now I've already cut everything out to size. Okay, so let me start with this piece here so I can finish it and then set it aside. Okay, so this is my straw board that measures, it's not 8, this is 5 by 7/8. It's not up to 6 inches. Okay, it's 5 and I don't know if you can see it, it's 5 and 7/8 of an inch. It's not up to 6 inches because this velvet, it's the thickness. By the time you fold it, I'm going to cover it. By the time I fold it over here and over here to take up that space. Okay, so I made the sides to be 1/8 of an inch shorter than the size of the box itself, because this is going inside the box. So now before we proceed, I need to, this is the first thing that I need to bring in my double-sided tape. Okay, and have to cover this. So let me show you how I do this. Of course, if you watch my previous videos on luxury boxes especially, you see how I did this. So I'll just do this. This is how I'm going to cover just one side of the straw board with double-sided tape, like so. Just lie down carefully and then bring in my scissors. And okay, no, I don't like using scissors to cut this. I need to use my paper cutter. Yeah, so I just cut it off right at the edge of the straw board. Okay, so this is just what I would do. So I'll finish covering this up, although it won't take any time, just 3 seconds. So let me just pause it, finish it up, and then get back to you to save time. Okay, so here it is, all covered, just one side. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is to crease to make sure that any bubble that is under that double-sided tape will be out and the tape is holding onto the straw board properly. Okay, so now next I'm going to do, of course, is to bring in my lint roller. We need the lint roller to clean the dirt from, so I'm just peeling this one I've already used off. So this lint roller will help to remove all the dirt from the velvet. I like to clean it before using, that way it makes me feel comfortable, to remove every dirt before I continue. Yeah, good. Of course, as I'm working, some dirt will still settle on it, but at least now that I have a clean velvet, I feel more comfortable working with it. So this is it. Now fold it, I'll turn it rather. I've already cut this into 10 inches by 8 inches. Okay, so that there will be 1 inch excess on the side, as you can see where I lined it up. Okay, so I will fold it in. So what I'm going to do is just to peel the backing tapes off to review the other side of the double-sided. That's why it is called a double-sided tape. The tape is double-sided, so it can hold two things, together. Okay, so all I'll do now is to, this is where the tape is. Okay, you can see it's shiny. Now just turn it and then line it up on the velvet as straight as possible, making sure that you have equal, at least equal sides all around. So there, and then turn it back and then crease properly. Okay, so now what I'm going to do next is to cut off triangular sides from these 4 corners. Now watch, this is not for clothes. This is for clothes. Yes, so now I'm going to cut a triangular shape like this, not right on where the straw board is, okay, but about 1/8 of an inch away from the straw board. Like so. You can see the space. So that's what I will do all around. So I'll cut the remaining 4 and then I'll get back to you to continue that. Okay, so here it is, all cut and ready. Now next I'm going to do is to bring in my double-sided tape once again, okay, and then apply on the edges round like this. This one is short. Okay, yeah, this is longer. Like so. Okay, like so. Round all the sides like so. Okay, so I'll finish the remaining 2 and then I'll get back to you to save time. All right, so here it is, all done. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is just to crease down the double-sided tape properly, then remove the backing tapes. But when you're removing them, be careful not to lift the tape itself. Okay, when you're removing the backing tape, be careful not to lift. You can see what happened here. I lifted the tape itself. It's cloth, so it doesn't have a firm hold compared to paper. Okay, all right, so now this is this. Now I'm going to bring in my UHU gum and then apply on the spaces that are exposed. Okay, like so. I'll just show you just this side and then I will do the remaining sides off camera, okay, in order to save time. Okay, so there, and then just lift this, pull it very well, and then drop it over the board like so. Then after doing that, you crease properly, and then also the side you crease it properly like that. Okay, so I'll do the remaining 3 parts off camera. It's just the same way I did this. Okay, so I'll get back to you. Okay, so I have to show you the way I'm doing this. I already covered the 3 parts. Okay, so now for this is what I did. I did these 2 opposite sides first and then did this one. So this is how I did it. Inside here, inside this corner here, I applied my glue. Okay, and then this corner as well. Okay, then folded, pushed it in and folded it inward to cover the straw board on that side, and then the same thing on this side. It may not stay immediately, okay, but just give it time. Okay, there. So now I can now finish that up like so, just the way I did the first part. Okay, so I'll leave this and then fold it over. You can see the corner, it's entered properly. Okay, then crease and also the edge. So here we are, we have our base ready. So now you can now clean again. Yeah, clean, and also the side. Yes, it's important. You need to give your customer a quickly clean box. All right, so now set this aside. Okay, now the next part is to bring in our straw board and the score board. our cardstock. This is a cardstock, not straw board. This is the cardstock. This one at the back here is straw board. Okay, sorry about that. So bring in 2 pieces. This for the lid, this for the base. Now, as I said, it's going to be a reinforced box. Okay, so now since the box size is 8 by 6 inches and it's reinforced, that's the side to be reinforced. So, and the height of the box is 1 inch. Now I'm going to multiply 1 inch by 4. 2 on this side, 2 on this side, making 4. So that's 2 plus 2, that's 4. So I'll now add 4 to the size of the box, which is 8 and 6. 4 plus 8 will give me 12, which I have here. And then 6 plus 4 will give me 10, which I have here. So now on any side at all, I can now start scoring at 1 inch and 2 inches on all the 4 sides. You can do this and then score at 8 inches and 9 inches, but I don't like working that way. Okay, I like to turn to make sure that I have equal sides, like so. 1 inch and 2 inches, 1 inch and 2 inches. Now if you bring this, set it in the center, you see that it's perfect fit, even though this board is slightly smaller than this. If you measure the space from the center from here to here, it's 8 inches. Look at it, 2 and 10. 2 minus 10, 8. This one also 2 minus 8, 6. Perfect. Okay, so now let me set the board aside and then show you the cutting. So what I'm going to do next is to remove 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There are 4 boxes on every corner, so I'll remove 3. Okay, so this is how I like to do my own cutting. Please watch this part very closely. I start from the left side. Please watch very closely. The camera is clear. Okay, now you see this score line, this lower one here. I'll place my ruler on top of this score line so that I can cut right beside the score line. But I'm cutting only from the top of this score line, not all the way. Only from the top of this vertical score line. From the top of it alone. Like I'm cutting off the score line alone. Okay. Then I'll move my ruler to this second score line. This horizontal, vertical, mathematics, vertical, horizontal, whatever. Okay, I'll place my ruler on that score line like so, just as I did here, and then cut from the lower part of this second score line here, the lower part under that second score line. Okay, and then turn anti-clockwise and then place my ruler beside, not on top of this first score line anymore, but beside the score line. I need to see the score line visible. Now I am placing the ruler to go all the way up, so I'm sure that it is very straight, because I should place it like this. Believe me, you can't tell if it is straight or not, but when you bring it up, you are very certain that it is very straight. Okay, so now from here I will now cut off this and this from where I started this cutting. Okay, this too is out. Then next I will put my ruler on top of the second score line. If you have to rewind the video, please rewind it and watch again. Okay, I will put my ruler on top of this second score line like so. Okay, on top of it, and then cut from the lower part of this second score line here, from the lower part. all the way down. Now I've separated this, you can see. Now next I'm going to do, I'm not done with cutting on this side. I will now place my ruler beside this score line. You can see the score line is still attached all the way down to this point. Okay, so I'll line my ruler up like so. Okay, and then cut from the base again. I cut from the base for here. I'll now cut from the base again under the base of this score line all the way down. Now I have this tiny strip like this still attached. So what I'll do is I will now remove this strip rather, from the base of this score line. This score line from the base like so, placing my cutter on the base like so, and then raise the cutter and press down. That is it. So I will repeat this step on all the remaining 3 sides. So I'll do that off camera and then I'll get back to you at that point. All right, so here we are, all the sides finished. Okay, now what I'm going to do next is to bring my double-sided tape. Okay, you see these small flaps on the corners where it is attached to the paper. I will put my double-sided tape like so. Okay, and then I cut it off easily by flipping it over, holding it down, and then cut that off. So I'll repeat this on the remaining 3 sides and I'll get back to you to save time. Okay, so now I have applied on all the 4 pieces. Okay, so now I'll turn this. Now mind you, sorry I hit the camera. Mind you, this is the outside part where the score line is coming out. Okay, and this is the inside part where it's going in, like having a valley form. Okay, so now on the you apply the tape on the outside part for the small flaps. Now for the inside part, you see this outer flaps, that's where we apply our double-sided tape towards the inside like so. I'll flip it like that. Okay, you can see, and then here as well. Like so. Flip and trim. Like so. And there. So now this is it. So now I'll bring my bone folder and then press, creasing properly to make the tape lie properly. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is to fold on those score lines. Now please don't mind the way I fold, I'm so used to this. Let me start this again. When you are going to fold, you start with this second one as you are learning. Okay, as you progress, you fold like this, making sure that the tip is lying inside and beside these 2 score lines on the sides like so. Then you hold it down and then press down properly, then raise it and then fold on the second one as well. Okay, like that, making sure it's in the center, it's centralized. Hold it down and then use your hand to crease. At this point you don't need to use the bone folder yet. Okay, so I will repeat this folding on all the 4 sides and then I will get back to you. Okay, before that I didn't explain this one. After folding this, you fold this as well, making sure that it's in the center of this also, like that. So that's just basically it. All right, so now I've already removed all the backing tapes from the double-sided tape. Okay, all around. So now the next thing we'll do is I will turn this. We are going to start working from the outside, from the flaps, to join our box together. Okay, so now you can see where the double-sided tape is. It's shining. Okay, so now I will bring in my UHU, and then now as I'm handling the box, the paper, the cardstock, handle it with care because your tapes are all exposed, so be careful as you handle them. So now I'll just apply my liquid glue, that's my uhu here, like so, and then bend this inward like so, then line this side up with this bent part like so, then release that tab, and then using my middle finger to hold it down from the inside like so. Okay, like so. So now the second part like so and like so. The third one, and the last one. There. Now this is what we have. Okay, now I'll stand this up. Let me fold these ones out of the way so you can see what I'm doing clearly. You just take any of the four sides that you want to start working with. Okay, this is why it's called reinforced. Now this part I will apply my glue. I will do only this part and then I'll do the rest off camera to save time. So I'll just fold this in carefully, and then using my bone folder now, I will now crease properly. You know, when we did the folding, I did not crease. Okay, now it's time to crease, and then on the inner part as well. Oh, you can see what I did on the inner part as well, like so. Okay, like that. So this is what I'll repeat on all the remaining 3 tabs, and then I'll get back to you. All right, so here we are, finished. Okay, so now that, if you remember the tab, the small strip that I cut off, that small strip, it's what is supposed to go in here. Had I didn't cut it off, it will not have been easy for this part to go in. It will not start overlapping. So to prevent that and to have a neatly finished look, that's why we removed that strip. Okay, so now next thing we are to do is to bring in our board that has been covered with velvet, flip it to the other side, and then apply double-sided tape on the edges all round. So I will do this and then I'll get back to you at that point, not to save time. Okay, so now I've applied all the tape I need to apply here. Then also, sorry, I should have done this. I'll apply here as well, like so, and then here. I can just leave this here. Yeah, I'm still going to cover the remaining parts with glue. Okay, so next thing is to peel off all the backing tape. So I'll do that off camera because it takes a little time, just to save time. Okay, all right, so there I am. Then I will now apply my PVC glue. You can see good thing is coming out from the tip. I'll just clean this. Okay, all right, so now I can work with my glue. So I'll just apply like so on all these spaces, everywhere there are spaces. That's where I will apply the glue. Okay, like so. Now after applying this glue, the next thing to do is to hold it like so, and then clean it again, because it's going into the box, and at this point you're not able to have access to clean it properly. So make sure that it's very clean, sparkling clean, that is very, very clean before you put it in the box. So this is our box, okay, and then just push it in like so, and there you are. It's still slightly wider than the box, that's why it's pushed this side. I don't know if you can see, this side is a bit bent, but you can see it's well fixed, even though we removed about 1/8 of an inch out. Okay, we removed 1/8 of an inch out, but still it's still pushing on it. That is slightly bigger, so just use your hand to just guide it like that, especially on the side. Okay, so now here is the base, reinforced, very strong, and we are good to go. So now next, let's move on quickly to the lid. Now for the lid, let me bring this box back in. I want the lid is left going to determine how the size of the lid you want your box, the lid to be. Determine the size yourself. You want it to be 1/2 inch, this is where it will get to, or you want it to be 6/8 of an inch or 7/8 of an inch. Definitely not a whole 1 inch. If you're going to cover it all the way down, then to open it will be very difficult. So I'm going to be making my own 5/8 of an inch. Now 5/8 of an inch inside and outside, and then this side and this side. So that's 5/8 of an inch in 4 places will give me, let's count, I forgot my mathematics. This is 5/8 of an inch here, okay, now plus 5/8 of an inch, 1 2 3 4 5, that's 1 2/8 of an inch, that's 1 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so now times 2, that will not give me 2 1/2. So 2 1/2 plus the size of my box, which is 8 by 6 inches, 2 1/2 plus 8 inches will give me 10 1/2. I have 10 1/2 here, and then 2 1/2 plus 6 inches will give me 8 1/2. I have 8 1/2 here. So now please watch very closely again, okay, and I'm going to now score my, this is lined to the box, but I will move it slightly from the side so I can have a little space, because if you make the lid and the box exact same size, 8 by 6 inches, it to be exact same size, and not the lid will not be able to enter in to cover the base. Even if it should, that means you have to force it in, and then it may tear. So to prevent that, we'll imaginarily make this slightly bigger. So that's what I'm trying to do, just move it slightly. Okay, now that's adding about 1/16 of an inch. So now I will now score at 5/8 of an inch plus, while holding it down, plus another 5/8 of an inch, that's 1 1/4 on all the 4 sides. That would be the same thing on all the 4 sides. Move it a little and then score on all the 4 sides. Now just the way I did the base is the same way I'm doing the lid, the same format of scoring, and also the same format for cutting. So after scoring this, I will do the same cutting that I did for the base, the same way. Okay, so I'll just do the same cutting. Let me show you, but I'm not going to explain too deep. If you want explanation, rewind the video and watch where the explanation is. Like so. This is how I do my own cutting. This one is different from what I explained earlier, but for me this one is faster for me. That one I had to explain so that you understand the cutting is still the same thing. If you want to do this, then you have to watch it carefully and understand it by yourself. If not, you get your own method and cut the way that suits you. Just make sure that you follow the cutting properly and you are not missing anything. It's as simple as that. Okay, so now I will do the remaining 2 cutting off camera and I'll get back to you. Okay, so now I've already done all the cutting and also applied the double-sided tape. Okay, so I just need to show you, so I think as I just finished it. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is to remove all the backing tapes. Okay, you can see why I said it takes a little time. Imagine me removing all this now. It's quite time consuming, right? See, right? Okay, so there it is, all double-sided tapes removed. Okay, so now next in is to bring in my UHU gum once again, and then any small part where there's no glue, I'll apply. When there's no tape, rather, I'll apply my glue, but this one is good to go, so I'll just raise it. Sorry, that was off camera. I'm really sorry. So I just raise and then bend and meet it up like so. Okay, so, and then the fourth part like so. Then this one, the tip, I'll just apply. The tape is not getting to the tip, so I'll just apply on that tip inside, just inside, so that I can have a good hold. If not, it could be raising after a while, you know, to prevent the box from raising or opening and all, so that your box can stay for a long time. Okay, so apply here also like so. And then fold on the crease. Okay, and then the last part. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about the background noise. My carpenter is working in the house, so it's hitting some things and all. So sorry about that. Okay, all right. So there, done. And then bring this and just cover it. It's a perfect fit. Not too big, not too small. Now you can see these sides that are raising. It's not flat. This is what you do. You open it, okay, and then bend it inward, not to the edge. You can see what I did, like so. Okay, now the reason why it's bent is because while I was creasing, my hand was slightly bent, so that's why it's now coming out. So now to push it back in, just remove it and then push it back in. Don't worry, it's looking as if it's going out of shape, right? Don't worry, it is not going out of shape. It's just to make sure that it holds properly. And then by the time you bring it to cover, wow, that is really something. The noise, sorry, to cover it. So there, now you see the sides perfectly fit. You see it, right? So that is how to make your jewelry box. This is so nice and so compact. This is for a necklace. So okay, so there it is. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next tutorial. And I really appreciate if you can like the video, subscribe, comment, ask your questions, and I'll get back to you. I'll try to answer all your questions. Okay, all right, see you guys in the next tutorial.